Welcome everyone to another in-depth dive right here on our channel, where we cut through the noise and deliver the straight facts on government benefits that truly matter to your financial security. I'm your host, drawing from years of analyzing policy shifts and payment trends that affect millions, and today we're zeroing in on something that's buzzing across households nationwide. The latest updates on Social Security SSI, SSDI, and VA payments, with fresh details on those new checks that are set to land in accounts soon. What sets our discussions apart is our commitment to unpacking these complexities with real-world insights, not just surface-level headlines, so you walk away empowered and informed about how these changes directly impact your wallet in this ever-shifting economic landscape. As we ease into the heart of this topic, let's first ground ourselves in what these programs represent, because understanding their foundations is key to grasping why these updates are generating so much anticipation. Social Security's Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, serves as a lifeline for individuals with limited income and resources who are aged, blind, or disabled, providing monthly payments to help cover basic needs like food, shelter, and medical care. Unlike other benefits, SSI isn't tied to your work history. It's fundamentally needs-based, funded through general tax revenues rather than the Social Security trust funds. On the other hand, Social Security Disability Insurance, known as SSDI, is designed for those who've paid into the system through payroll taxes during their working years and now face disabilities that prevent them from earning a substantial income. It's more like an insurance policy you've earned, with benefits calculated based on your lifetime earnings, often resulting in higher average payments compared to SSI. Then there's the VA payments, specifically disability compensation from the Department of Veterans Affairs, which honors the sacrifices of our military veterans by providing tax-free monthly support for service-connected disabilities, illnesses, or injuries. These aren't just handouts. They're earned acknowledgments of service, scaled by the severity of the disability rating from 10% up to a full 100%, and they can include additional amounts for dependents or special circumstances, like being housebound. What ties all these together right now is a wave of updates rolling out in 2025, including adjusted payment amounts, shifted schedules, and yes, those extra checks that many recipients are eagerly awaiting due to calendar quirks and policy tweaks. Diving deeper into the nuances, it's essential to recognize how these programs intersect and differ in ways that can profoundly affect eligibility and payment strategies for individuals who might qualify for more than one. For instance, if you're receiving SSDI, you might also be eligible for SSI if your income falls below certain thresholds, but there's a coordination where SSDI payments count toward your SSI resource limits, potentially reducing your SSI amount to ensure you're not double dipping beyond what's intended. Similarly, veterans on VA disability might see interactions with SSDI, as the VA's ratings can bolster a Social Security disability claim through expedited processing under programs like Wounded Warrior, but VA benefits don't directly offset SSDI the way they might with other income sources. Right now, in the summer of 2025, the big news is centered around payment schedules and increases that are making waves, particularly with the cost of living adjustments that kicked in earlier this year. The Social Security Administration announced a 2.5% COLA for 2025 back in October of last year, which has been reflected in checks since January, boosting the average SSDI payment to around $1,500 monthly, though maximums can reach up to about $3,822 for those with high earnings histories. For SSI, the federal maximum jumped to $967 for individuals and $1,450 for eligible couples, with states often adding supplements that can push those figures higher in places like California or New York. This adjustment was calculated based on the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, aiming to counteract inflation's bite on everyday expenses, though many recipients argue it still falls short of covering rising costs in housing and healthcare. Over at the VA, the 2.5% COLA mirrored Social Security's, effective from December 2024, meaning veterans saw their first increased payments in January 2025, with a 100% disability rating, now netting about $3,946 monthly for a single veteran, scaling up to over $4,196 when including a spouse and children. These hikes aren't arbitrary. They're tied to the same inflation metrics, ensuring that as the cost of groceries, utilities, and medical supplies climbs, your benefits don't lose purchasing power entirely. Though economic experts note that the formula sometimes lags behind real-world price surges in categories like prescription drugs or energy bills. Shifting our focus to the payment timelines that are causing a stir this month, August 2025 is proving to be an unusual period for many beneficiaries, with what feels like bonus checks arriving due to how holidays and weekends align with standard disbursement rules. For SSI recipients, payments are typically issued on the first of each month, but when that date falls on a weekend or federal holiday, the Social Security Administration advances the payment to the preceding business day to avoid delays. This year, September 1st lands on Labor Day, a Monday holiday, so the September SSI check is being distributed early on Friday, August 29th. That means if you're on SSI, you've already received your regular August payment on the 1st, and now you're set for an additional one at the end of the month, effectively giving you 2 payments in August alone, which could total up to nearly $2,000 for some households, depending on your specific amount and any state supplements. This isn't extra money in the sense of a stimulus or bonus. It's just the September benefit arriving ahead of schedule to ensure continuity, but it can provide a welcome buffer for budgeting, perhaps allowing you to catch up on bills or stock up on essentials before the fall sets in. Similarly, SSDI payments follow a staggered schedule based on your birth date to manage the massive volume of distributions. If your birthday is between the 1st and 10th, you get paid on the 2nd Wednesday, 11th through 20th on the 3rd Wednesday, and 21st through 31st on the 4th Wednesday. For August 2025, that translates to payments on the 13th, 20th, and 27th, with no holiday disruptions this month, so expect those direct deposits or mailed checks right on time, potentially up to $5,108 for higher earners after the COLA bump. It's worth noting that if you're dually eligible for both SSI and SSDI, your SSDI might come mid-month, while SSI bookends it, creating a more even cash flow that savvy planners can leverage for financial stability. Now, turning to the VA side of things, veterans are experiencing a parallel phenomenon this August that's amplifying the sense of new checks on the horizon. VA disability compensation is generally paid on the first business day of the month, following the benefit period, meaning your August payment would normally hit on September 1st. But with Labor Day pushing that to the next business day, the administration is instead advancing it to the last business day of August, which is the 29th. Meanwhile, the July benefit was paid on August 1st, so many veterans are looking at 2 deposits this month, one at the beginning and one at the end, potentially adding up to over $8,000 for those with full ratings and dependents. This double dip effect is purely a scheduling artifact, not a policy change or additional funding, but it underscores the importance of understanding these calendars to avoid surprises or overdrafts. Beyond the immediate payouts, the VA has been rolling out enhancements to make claiming and receiving benefits smoother, including expanded presumptive conditions under the PACT Act for exposures to burn pits and other toxins, which could qualify more veterans for higher ratings without exhaustive proof requirements. If you're a veteran who's been hesitant to apply, now's a prime time, as processing times have improved with digital tools, and back pay can accumulate from your effective date, sometimes resulting in lump sums that feel like windfalls when approved. Building on these current dynamics, let's explore the broader implications and forward-looking aspects that are shaping expectations for the coming months and even into 2026. One critical update from Social Security is the full transition to electronic payments, set to complete by September 30th, 2025, meaning no more paper checks will be issued after that date to promote efficiency and reduce fraud risks. If you're still receiving physical checks, it's imperative to switch to direct deposit via your My Social Security account or by contacting your local office, as this ensures faster, safer delivery without the worry of mail delays or lost items. For those on SSDI, Remember that after 24 months, you become eligible for Medicare, which can integrate with your benefits to cover health costs, but you'll want to factor in any premiums that might deduct from your check. SSI folks should stay vigilant about asset limits. $2,000 for individuals, $3,000 for couples, as exceeding them can pause payments. And with inflation, it's easier than ever to tip over if you're not tracking savings or gifts carefully. Over at the VA, payment amounts are finely tuned by your combined rating, where multiple disabilities aren't just added up, but combined using a special formula that approaches but never exceeds 100%, and extras like aid and attendance can add hundreds more if you're in need of daily help. Looking ahead, projections for the 2026 COLA are hovering around 2.7% based on recent inflation data from the Senior Citizens League, which could mean another modest boost to keep pace with living costs, though it's not finalized until October. This estimate reflects ongoing economic pressures like potential tariffs and supply chain issues, but it also highlights the system's responsiveness, even as debates swirl about long-term solvency, with trust funds projected to deplete by the mid-2030s without congressional action. Delving even further into the practical side, many recipients wonder how these updates affect their day-to-day planning, especially with the influx of funds this August. For SSI and VA beneficiaries getting those early September checks, it's a golden opportunity to reassess your budget, allocate portions to emergency funds, debt reduction, or even investments in energy-efficient home improvements that could lower future bills. However, be cautious with spending, as large deposits might trigger reviews if they push you over resource thresholds, particularly for SSI, where countable income includes most windfalls. SSDI users, since your benefits are earnings-based, have more flexibility to work part-time under trial work periods without immediate loss, allowing you to supplement income up to substantial gainful activity levels, which for 2025 is about $1,470 monthly for non-blind individuals. Veterans, meanwhile, can layer VA benefits with other supports like vocational rehabilitation or GI Bill education perks, creating a robust safety net that extends beyond monthly checks. Another layer to consider is how these programs handle overpayments or underpayments. The SSA and VA have streamlined recovery processes, but if you spot an error, report it promptly to avoid compounded issues, and appeals are always an option if you disagree with adjustments. In terms of application tips for SSDI and SSI, gathering medical records and work histories upfront can expedite approvals, which average 3 to 5 months but can stretch longer amid backlogs, while VA claims benefit from accredited representatives who navigate the fully developed claim path for quicker resolutions. As we wrap up this comprehensive look, it's clear that these updates on SSI, SSDI, and VA payments aren't just bureaucratic shifts. They're tangible enhancements designed to sustain dignity and stability in challenging times. With the 2.5% COLA already in play, the double payments hitting this August for many, and a promising 2.7% on the horizon for 2026, there's a sense of momentum building that rewards patience and proactive management. Remember, staying informed through official channels like SSA.gov or Vietgov ensures you're maximizing what you've earned, turning these benefits into a foundation for a more secure tomorrow. Thanks for joining me in this exploration. Knowledge like this is your best ally in navigating what's ahead.